Welcome to Emerge and Empower Podcast TV, a platform where resilience meets transformation. Here, we amplify voices that have faced trials, trauma, and adversity, stories that inspire hope, healing, and empowerment. Every episode brings raw, unfiltered conversations with individuals who have risen from hardship, embracing faith, strength, and purpose. Join us as we break the silence, uplift one another, and emerge stronger together. New episodes air Wednesdays at 6 p.m. English and Saturdays at 6 p.m. with select Saturdays in Creole for our Haitian audience.
Hello, 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 and welcome to this segment of Emerge and Empower with your host, yours truly, Dr. Lynn J. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in, as we are live here on Facebook and we continue as we discuss the differences in my journey. The differences in my personal journey and as I take you through, we did last week, and this is now session 2, the silence that saved me. But what did it do? It almost destroyed me. All right. So a lot of us can tend to be silent for certain things in our lives, and we don't realize the significance behind the silence and the noise. Amen. So, as we are connected here today, we will continue to discuss this as we continue this journey and this revelation on today. So, I want to really thank each and every one of you for connecting with me here on Emerge and Empower as we continue on this journey. Now, as you know, and I always say it at the beginning of the podcast, this is a platform for those who have gone through traumatic experience and they come on to share that experience with our audience. These are individuals who have emerged from past traumas and have come forward to either turn their pain into purpose or their test into a testimony. Now, mine is no other. Everything that stemmed from Emerge and Empower, We Were, Shemergence, and all that I do are coming from my own personal journeys. And that's where I have a platform and I can share why, because I have experienced that. To this day, there are individuals who probably feel ashamed of my telling my story. They might feel some kind of way about my telling my story, but the story continues as I share. So I want to thank each and every one of you. I'm going to give everyone a little moment to come on in. 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 Give everyone a chance to come in. Okay. As you are coming in, I'm giving everybody a opportunity to come on in. I'm only here for a short period of time. And if you have not done so already, do me a favor and go to shemergence.com, and get a copy of Shemergence, I Am She. Get a copy of Shemergence, I Am She at shemergence.com. This is my very own author website where individuals have an opportunity to get the book. That is the first book. All right. It's the first book of my memoir. Now, this memoir was written with an intention to be left for my children, right? Just for my children so that here on this journey. It was just meant for my children, and they can be here and they can read about it later on. It was meant to be read about it after I'm gone. But through the years and through my sharing with the different youths and women, I've always shared little bits of my story. Now, my feeling ashamed to share the story was because there were people around me that was ashamed of me telling my story, and that caused me to feel uncomfortable to share my story. And then I realized, you know what, my life is not about these people, and they don't feed me, they don't clothe me, they don't pay my bills, etc., etc. You know, we have to tell ourselves stuff just so we could get ahead. And I was like, you know what, this is my story, and I'm sick and tired of being shut up. I'm sick and tired of people telling me what to do, what to say. All right, I'm tired. So I'm going to share my story, and if you want to hear it, fine. If you don't want to, that's your problem, that's your prerogative. All right. And so this is one of the reasons why this platform is here, because I dealt with childhood trauma, right? From a very early as 3 years old. Now, today we see all of these things that are online, Epstein files. We have sex trafficking of minors and so on and so forth. But all of these have always been here. They just keep progressing. And as time progresses, it gets worse. And the people you wouldn't think or imagine that are a part of this are usually the people that we trust in our communities, the people that we trust with our children. Come on, somebody. We trust them with our children. We trust them in our homes. All right. We just trust on individuals and giving them opportunities to be in our presence. So in Shemergence, I Am She, I tell the story of a little girl who learned something at a very early age. What was that? Silence. Silence feels safer than exposure. Silence doesn't ask questions. Silence doesn't accuse. Silence doesn't disrupt families. Silence protects, or so I thought. But what I didn't understand as a child was this: silence may protect you in a moment, okay, but it imprisons you over time. I didn't know that. I say this a lot and I will say it again here today. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can't hurt me. Well, I was hurt physically, emotionally, and psychologically, spiritually. So as a child, I experienced things no child should. And I remember crying out, not just physically, but spiritually. I called on God and asked for help. I waited. Many times, the very people who were supposed to protect me were the ones I could not speak against. So I learned to tuck it away. I became functional, composed, strong. And I carried secrets in my body that was still developing. Many of the women and men who have come on Emergent and Power, they've told their stories. And you've heard their stories as they take us through their own personal journey. If you have not, go and listen to some of the episodes that we have for Emerge and Empower, and you'll be able to understand some of these journeys of individuals and their families. All right. So last week I talked about the inner child that never left, it just grew up. A lot of us are walking around hurt as that child. We're carrying the pains, and that child is still locked up inside. It's time to give that young girl or young boy an opportunity to grow, to release them. It's time for the change. I know it's hard, and you're probably ashamed of it, but don't be. This was something that was done to you, and they violated your innocence, your virginity, everything that was pure was taken away. So I learned to function with my pain, suffering, and silence. It took me years to even be on a platform as such, to even share and talk about it. Years. In my journey, silence did save me, in a sense. I thought I was saving my family as well. It kept me from being punished, it kept me from being disbelieved. Who's going to believe you? It kept me from deeper harm, but it also destroyed me. And who can fix that? Hmm. Because unspoken pain does not disappear, it embeds itself and it resurfaces in adulthood through anxiety, hyper independence, performance, over functioning, emotional shutdown. Many of our guests on this platform thought they were just strong, but strength built on suppression cracks under pressure. There comes a moment in healing where you realize I cannot keep protecting the people who hurt me, and at the expense of protecting myself. And that moment is terrifying, but it's also freeing. Because when silence finally breaks, it destroys you. It doesn't destroy you. They say it would. Oh, when you go and tell, it's gonna destroy you. It's gonna be shame. You're gonna be ridiculed. But no, it does not destroy you. It releases you. In Shemergence, I began to find my voice, not loudly, not angrily, but truthfully. And the truth is the beginning of restoration. You know, through the years, I thought that I was good. I thought everything was okay. I kept it to myself, cried a lot, cried in service, cried myself to sleep, but it was lonely. Yet I had people around me. So everyone that's looking right now, do me a favor. Let's pause for a moment. Let's share, 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 share. Share in your groups. Share the live. Share the live. Share the live. Share the group. Share it. Share, share, share. Give you opportunity to share as we continue. Let me also share here. Share the live. Share the live. We actually live, so your live shares I can see. So I'm waiting for your share. Share, 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 share. Share in the groups. Share the live. Share, 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 share. Oh my God. Restoration. All right. So let's keep sharing. Share it, share it, share. Let's see the hearts. Thank you, Shanique. Thank you, Mishu, for watching. Thank you to my audience that are actually on my platform. Thank you for coming in to show your support. All right. Thank you for sharing. Keep sharing. Share it in your WhatsApp. If you go to YouTube, you will find my YouTube channel as well. You can share it. It's Emerging in Power with Dr. LinJ on YouTube. So you can go over to YouTube. I'll give you a moment to do so. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Are you here? Can you hear me? Let's get some feedback. Let's get some emojis and characters, okay? I don't just want likes, all right? I would like you to say that I am not destroyed. I am here. I am not destroyed. All right, let me see that. Say, I'm with you, Dr. Lynn J. I'm with you, Dr. Lynn J. Let's see that. If you're on YouTube, comment. I'm here with you. Send stars, send stars, send love. So, let me tell you, when you have positive content, you don't really get too many, you don't go viral very quickly. And my views are organic. These aren't paid views, these aren't purchase. So you're coming in and sharing are organic because it shows that you are on here and you watch it for more than a minute. Okay? Anyway, so let me get right back into what I was saying, but I'm going to keep telling you to share. And I'm going to keep saying share, 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 share. And we're going to continue. So the silent that saved me and almost destroyed me. I'm still, believe it or not, I'm still healing from that place. Because even if some scars are healed, it's still there. We're still dealing with it. All right? And these are emotional scars. All right? The scars are here. And so we need that platform for healing. Who wants to be whole? I don't know about you, but I thank God for healing. I thank God for making me whole, that I can have the spirit of boldness to even come on my own platform and other people's platform and share, how people read my book and not feel embarrassed because I told a story that was true. So, I had family members when I wrote the book that said I lied, and I had to tell them straight up, this was my story to tell. All right. It was not yours. And I'm not going to apologize. All right. I'm not going to apologize for telling my truth. All right. I won't do that. I'm not going to apologize for telling my truth. All right. And many of you have been hiding from behind your pain. You've been hiding behind it. Let's come forward. It's time to heal for real. Time to heal for real. When silence finally breaks, it does not destroy you, it releases you. So I began to find my voice. I call the journey Shemergence because it's my emergence, my genesis. I started to find my voice when I was 9 years old, when I told my truth. And I realized that the adults, they never actually came out and said they didn't believe me, but their actions said they didn't, because they kept the perpetrator closer, and I had to leave to go live with my aunt. And so for about a year and a half or 2 years, I felt lonely. I felt like I was abandoned by my mom. I felt like church turned their back on me, like everyone turned their back on me. And so when I went to live with my aunt, my situation didn't get better. It multiplied. It got worse. That's why they say sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. If you think what I experienced from 3 to 8 years old was something, I had to live it between 8 and 9 years old. So I had a phobia of going to fall asleep at night. So I was restless as a child because it always happened at night when everyone was asleep or the house was empty and it was just me. So I had a phobia to be by myself and afraid to sleep. Do you know in my 52 years of life, I'm 52, I think so, last I checked, I it didn't dawn on me until 2 years ago why I have a hard time sleeping at night. I couldn't understand it because as far as I can remember, I was always up. Did not sleep in the day. It was like I always slept early in the morning the next day, pretty much. And it's stemming from childhood trauma. Yeah, stemming from childhood trauma. So now what I do, and I learned to do through my teenage years and into adulthood, those moments I have turned to my quiet moments, my times to go deep in prayer, my times to read my Bible, and it's also my favorite time to write because I'm an author of 9 books. So I use those times to write. It's become my quiet time. So the time that was the time that was feared and dreaded now has become my peaceful, my quiet, my tranquility. And that is because of healing. I am not afraid to be at home by myself. Actually, I rather be because it's my own sanctuary. I remember we lived in a place in Nassau called Hawkins Hill. And those who lived in the Bahamas, I say 10, 15 years ago, there were 2 houses on top of the hill. One on the south, one on the north. We lived on the south. And there was a porch. You have a large porch in the front and stairs that come down into the street. And I used to take sheets and pin them on the porch, get my blanket, get me a book, my favorite snacks, and just lay there. I had to escape from it all. And no one was home. I remember not going to school because going to school on that particular day, I wasn't feeling my greatest. And I decided to stay home and create my quiet solitude because everyone was at work. No one was at home besides the dogs and cats in the neighborhood. And I was quiet, uninterrupted. So I start using my silence and start healing inner. And I escaped into the books that I read. And I love to read books. So I was always reading books. I read adult books, children's books, you name it. And then I found myself drawn to romance because as a child, I went through so much pain and trauma, but physically, I could not imagine myself experiencing, the type of pleasures or the heart palpitations that they talk about in these Harlequin books and the romance novels. Or I was reading detective stories like Nancy Drew as a little girl growing up. So I would always escape into what I read. And to this day, what I read is always better than what they make into a movie. Anybody ever read a book and what you read was better? Like, you say, this movie, because what you read was so better because your imaginations added to it and it was so much better. Well, my trauma was not an imagination, it was not a dream, it was real. For those who don't know and who haven't read the book, I started getting molested from the age of 3 to 4. By 6 years old, I was raped and left for dead. And there opens the door to more sexual trauma from 6 to 9 years old. That's it in a nutshell. Read more about it in Shemergence. I take you to the layers, the details, and the experience. Let me ask you this. What have you never said? I know you probably won't text it since you've never said it, so you won't text it. What have you never said? Think about that for a moment. And if you have said it lately, put it here in the chat. Put it in the chat. Let's get some interaction. Or find an emoji that expresses what you had experienced and who you are today. Put an emoji. If you are angry, sad, crying, don't group them together. Drop them one at a time. Show me all the emotions that you have gone through. Just put it in the chat. Tears, sad, pained. And if you are now happy, let's see that. So back to what I said. What have you never said? Hmm? Or what have you never said until last year, 5 years ago? You could share it. If you've said it, share it. If you feel bold enough and you want to share what you've never said here, because what I love about the podcast is individuals come on and they thought they shared their story. And then as we were talking, then you said, you know what? I've never said this or I've never thought about this. So this is your opportunity. This is where your healing began. This is talk therapy. All right. Next question. What memory still makes your body tense? What memory still makes your body tense? I repeat the first one. What have you never said? I'm not ashamed to say the perpetrator was wrong. I was violated. And I'm not going to let somebody who violate me intimidate me and cause me pain. I've done release them. That's why I can share. And that's how come I help individuals share. Back to number 2. What memories still make your body tense? What story have you told yourself to survive? Look like these questions are scaring some people away. You can inbox me and we could talk later, but don't leave. What story have you told yourself to survive? You don't have to expose everything publicly, but you do need safe spaces. So find a safe space. Healing does not require spectacle, it requires honesty. Be honest with yourself. And maybe this episode is your first step. In closing, silence saved me, but the truth healed me. And there is life after trauma. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too damaged. You are still becoming. I want to thank you for watching. Like I said, I didn't mean to be on here. It's not my regular hour episode. It's just me sharing different parts of my journey. And you can grab the book and I'll autograph it for you if you go to Shemergence. It's in the bio, shemergence.com. Get your copy, I'll autograph it and write a special message to you based on discernment. And there are more because after I've shared it, I had to stop at 18. And then from 18, I wrote the book called The Shift. And was I healed? No. I was broken into marriage and bleeding. And my most recent book, of course, last year called Unholy at the Table, talks about how I was made to feel. And I shared it, dealing with spiritual hurt. Mind you, I went through physical, emotional, and I also dealt with spiritual hurt. So I will close here. Feel free to inbox me. If you are seeking mentorship, I do have mentorship with Shemergence, Let Go and Glow. That is a mentorship journey. It could be done in individual and can be done in group session, whichever one you prefer. And this is to help those who've gone through sexual trauma for healing. So I want to thank you for connecting here today. And it's been your host, Dr. LinJ. Bye bye for now.